Our expert on all things green, Larry Kaplan, is back. If you have a question for Larry, you can call the number on the screen, 270-827-7961, and we'll take your questions. Always good to see you.
Thank you for having me here, Angie. It's wonderful.
Well, you know, I said you're the master of all things green, but we're going to talk about something that's brown.
Unfortunately, last time I was here, I talked about a disease of our boxwoods. Right. It's a disease called Volutella Blight. It's a canker disease that attacks the stems, not the leaves. And it's causing large sections of your boxwoods to have these dead areas. And I've got a picture of that to show you. Basically, this is a customer I had just yesterday. A whole row of boxwoods, and all that brown material is dead branches. And that needs to be pruned out, not only for appearance, but to get that diseased tissue out, because the disease is going to move down the stem and into the rest of the plant.
And then that's it.
That's it, and we wind up having to remove the plant. So I've been pruning a lot of these out. It is tedious and time consuming, but it's got to get done. This is not something we can spray for.
What's the technique, though? I mean, if I looked at that and I heard you say to prune it, how do I do it? How far back do I go? What do I need to do it?
Well, you just get a pair of hand pruners. Okay. What you want to do is grab that branch, and you can kind of see here how that whole branch is brown and dead. And what you do is you follow that down into the body of the shrub until you either come to the main stem or you come to some live green side branches, and you cut it there. A lot of people wind up just snipping off the visible dead stuff, but that's leaving the diseased tissue there, and that's moving down the stem into the rest of the plant. Most people don't want their boxwoods to die, but unfortunately, I have seen some boxwoods that have so much of this that there really is no alternative but to dig it up. And
that's a lot of work too, just to dig them up, mature boxwoods.
Yes, I agree. But I've seen some that, after I prune out the dead stuff, there's nothing left. So in those situations, I would recommend removal and then replacing them, but preferably with a different species other than boxwood.
So are there ones that are resistant to this sort of thing?
Well, there's a number of plants. There's like some Japanese holly, Ilex crenata, that look a lot like a boxwood. They tolerate the shearing like a boxwood, but because they're a completely different family, they don't get this disease. There's a number of other much more ornamental plants that you can choose that don't get this disease, but this is a disease of boxwood, and I'm becoming very disillusioned with boxwoods. So take that for what it's worth.
We have a question. Charlotte asked why her cucumbers will be blooming but won't have fruit. They just fall off the plant.
Very good question. Cucumbers and squash have male flowers and female flowers on the same vine. The female flower has what looks like a little miniature cucumber right underneath the blossom. The male flowers do not have that. So especially in the spring, the plant will put on a whole bunch of male flowers before it puts on any females. Now, if you have a female flower and it's still not producing fruit, you're not getting pollination. For whatever reason, the bees are not out there pollinating. And that could be due to weather, it could be due to overuse of insecticide. There's a number of things. But that's most likely what's happening.
That's what happened to me too, Charlotte. Same thing, we tried to hand pollinate, got 3 cucumbers. We'll be back with Larry right after this. Stink bugs are in your future. Stand by.